We are going into a new month, so it is budget time. Going into August, which is incredible. Every year at the beginning of August, I'm like, all right, it's Christmas, you know? And I don't mean that as in like, oh, it's time to start decorating, anything like that. I mean, basically the year is over, because once we get to August, the rest of the year, it's like that. I know y'all feel the same way. I'm going to hop right into things, starting with my channel members. Shout out to all of my channel members. I'm about to name everybody individually. First up are my two longest supporters. We have Amon and we have Dro. Thank y'all both so much. I know them personally. Well, I've worked with them, and I appreciate you both so much. We have Sean Peterson, Melissa Beaumont, Zay, Renato, Wagyu Yeti, Alam, The Dollar Man, Mark, Merle and Karis Duncan, as well as Pat M. This is the longest list of supporters I've had thus far. So thank you so much to all 12 of you. I greatly appreciate it, and it means a lot to me. At this point, I don't make any promises as far as membership content goes, but you know, here and there I will post a membership only video. But at this point, it's really just a way to support me, and it's never expected, but very much appreciated. If you are interested in supporting this channel, you can join. It's somewhere on the screen, depends on if you're on your phone or watching on TV or on your laptop. But you should see a join button somewhere on my channel or even on this video. Next up would be my goals for the month of August. Now, historically, the summer months are slower for me as far as business revenue goes, and usually that is August. So it's always May and August, at least over the last couple of years. And I am, as of right now, kind of expecting August to again be a bit of a slower month as far as business revenue goes, but I want to change that. So I don't have a specific income goal, because that's not just something easy for me to predict or even to control. But what I want, the goal that I'm going to set for August, is to land 2 sponsorships. So I want 2 sponsorship deals, those contracts to be signed. And these are going to be with companies that I truly want to work with, that I already talk about, that I already use. In the past, I'm grateful to say that any of the companies that I've worked with before, they have reached out to me. That has been inbound interest in working with me. But now I am pitching to companies that I want to collaborate with. I actually took part in a sponsorship challenge in the month of July and ended up joining a group program for all of this. So at this point, I'm invested. My money is invested, quite a bit of money. And I did that. I was uncomfortable doing that, but I was like, I can make this money back. And that is the mission. I genuinely believe that investment is going to have a huge ROI for me. I think I'm going to make my money back maybe 20x throughout the year, honestly. But right now, it does feel a little bit scary, a little bit uncomfortable. But because I'm invested and I've already taken action, quite a bit of action already, and I have seen some results. I'm not going to go into great detail here. This isn't a business channel at the end of the day. But yeah, no matter what, I'm going to put in the effort to make this happen, because I've invested in it and I want to make my money back anyway. So I'm excited about that. That's goal number 1. I would like to at least get 2 sponsorship deals in the month of August. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean I will get paid out from those sponsors in the month of August, which is why I'm not setting an income goal, because usually it's after 30 or 60 days. You put up the video or videos and then you get paid after 30 days. So it may be that I get paid out in September, October. We'll see. Second goal is to contribute at least $500 to my Roth IRA, and that's within my budget. Honestly, my budget is a little ugly right now. Y'all will see, and I will explain why I'm leaving it the way that I am. So with that, let me go ahead and hop to my spreadsheet. If you're interested in this spreadsheet, I have it linked down below. You can get it for free. You will have to enter your name and your email, but then you'll get this, as well as a couple of different options, because this one is tailored for those who are self-employed and have business side of things, personal side of things. That's how this is broken down, because I am fully self-employed at this point, and I run my business as an S corporation. So I am the employer, but also the employee. Up here, this is the employer side of things, or the business side of things. Starting with gross business revenue, I'm expecting at least $4,000. This is the usual. Like I said, I will probably get some brand deals. That's what I'm actively working on, and I'm not gonna take no for an answer. Like if I get a no from one company, we're moving on. You know what I'm saying? So I am going to do whatever it takes to make these things happen. I just don't know that I would get paid out in the month of August. And also, you know, I could get some new coaching clients if you're interested. That's linked down below as well. I help people to budget, to save, to pay down debt, custom plan. I hold you accountable. We talk every other week. Yeah, y'all get the idea. So that's always linked down below, but it just depends on all of that. I should make a minimum of $4,000 though. Next is rollover business revenue. So that's just money left in my business checking account from July that rolls into August. And I'm expecting at least 800 there. Could be more, could be less. I don't expect to pull from my business sinking fund. And then for the expenses here, first would be payroll. So I have to pay myself. That's $2,500. 401k match. I do match 4%, so $100 there. Payroll taxes, $191.25. Distribution, this is just transferring money from my business checking account to my personal checking account to spend as needed. This isn't the true distribution that I end up reporting for tax time, but it kind of, the way that I have it set up, it works just to do it this way, and it really doesn't matter. So this here, I have $1,400. Actual business expenses, I'm budgeting $150. I don't typically spend much in August. I've spent quite a bit over the last few months. Had some annual fees that I had to pay, not fees, just like annual renewals. And for August, I don't think I'll have much else. It's just like payroll and maybe some smaller things in there. Next is my insurance. So medical insurance as well as dental is $202.33, which they've been a pain lately. I'm not going to get into it here, but I don't know what's going on. It's frustrating. The whole system is just messed up and we need a whole overhaul in the United States. Like I won't go into it here. I just can't stand it. Next, this little blue one is for savings. So that is my business sinking fund. The goal is to put at least $200 to that on a monthly basis so that I can prepare for my next $1,000 giveaway. And that's coming up in November, December time. So that's everything on the business side of things. You can see I am in the positive if we subtract my expenses from what I'm bringing in and what rolls over. Not by much though. So if I can make more money, or at least if I can expect to make more money in September and kind of recuperate all these things, that would be ideal. So let's go down to the employee side, me as the employee. My paychecks come to $2,500 gross. Distribution is that $1,400. I will make extra income, and then I may pull from my sinking funds, but I didn't put that on here. So just working with $3,900, and this is where you're going to see things will get kind of ugly as far as my budget as a whole. First thing here are taxes, $466.50. That's just taxes taken out of my paychecks. These teal cells are for investing and retirement. First up is my 401k. I do contribute 5%, so $125. My Roth IRA, at least $500, depending on how much I put in July, because I may put more than the $500 in July, but we'll see. As of right now, I'm just keeping that at $500. Brokerage, nothing there, just because I want to prioritize my Roth IRA, and as of right now, it looks like it's going to take me through December to max that out. Blue cells are for savings, my various sinking funds. Emergency fund, $50 there. These are all on auto savings, which has been nice. It's only been like one payroll, but it's good. Wedding sinking fund, because I am getting married next year, $385 there. Gift sinking fund, just $20 there. Car/car maintenance, $160, and then car insurance sinking fund, $130. Donate, I'm budgeting $0. However, I'm not opposed to donating. I have this at $0 because I still have my foster dog. I've like every month we go, like I still have my foster dog. It's been a year. We've had her for a year, which is crazy. Typically when you foster a dog, it's like you just have them for a few months and then they get adopted. But it's just been rough in the rescue world. So still have her, and I'm still paying for her food and toys and all of that. So I just count her as a donation. I am not opposed to donating though. So if something comes up, like I donated a little bit in July because something came up and I felt like I wanted to, not opposed to it, but just budgeting $0. Then the purple cells are for housing. So house/utilities in general, my portion of the mortgage and utilities for August, $1,207. And then household budgeting $50. That's just for toilet paper, paper towels, cleaning supplies, laundry detergent, that type of thing. Orange cells are for food. Groceries is first, and I'm budgeting $350. That might be kind of tight. I probably should increase this to $400, but you can see I'm getting low on, if we subtract my expenses from my income, this is going to be negative overall. Spoiler alert. So if I bump this up, it's just going to be even more negative. I don't know. I feel like I'm being unrealistic with this $350 though. I'm going to try. I'm going to try my best. Food out, I'm budgeting $30. I really kind of want to avoid going out to eat in August just because in July, with it being my birthday month, we have travel this month. I just feel like I've been eating pretty bad and I don't want to in August. Next would be gas for my car, $75 there. I usually fill up my tank twice a month, so that should be good. Health and beauty, budgeting $300. I believe I mentioned this last month or like in my June update video, but I now have to pay over $85 for my medication, which is really upsetting. That's quite a bit of money and not something, like it's not fun to pay for it. It's not like I chose to have an autoimmune disease. It's not something I can control. So to have to pay for the medication to keep me in remission, it just feels a bit defeating. It's something I get like emotional about because I don't like being reminded that I have an autoimmune disease that's going to be with me for the rest of my life, and this is something I have to pay for the rest of my life. Like, I just get really emotional about it if I think about it for too much or if I have to deal with it too much, and it's been kind of something I've had to deal with more frequently lately. I'm very grateful that I am healthy as of now and in remission, but this medication is what's helping me to stay that way, you know? So for them to make me pay that much, I feel it's just like an unfair system. It's kind of what I was talking about with the health insurance before. Anyways, I typically spend quite a bit in health and beauty. I do get a monthly massage because that's just good for my mental health, good for my physical health since I am very active. Not something I'm willing to part with. Everything else would be for like supplements that I take, the vitamins that I take, and I'm going to try my best to keep this under $300. Next would be dogs. This is another area. I'm budgeting $400. This might be too low. This is for what I usually pay my sister for the 2 dogs that we adopted together, but they live with her. We have pet insurance for them, and then she covers their food and all of that, so I give her money for it. Also covers my foster dog, and then one of our dogs does have to go back to the vet for an ultrasound and blood testing, and that's probably going to cost us a few hundred. So yeah, I don't know yet what to expect for that, but that's why I put this at $400. It's probably going to be more though, to be honest. Next is Netflix, $26.98. When I had shared my spending update, somebody had commented a shocked face, like, Netflix costs you that much per year? So this is higher because I'm on a plan where my sister can watch Netflix at her house. You know how earlier this year, maybe last year, they were like cracking down on people who were sharing passwords. So for some time, she was just logging into my account. She had her own little thing, but they started recognizing it's in 2 different houses, so we had to pay more for that. But technically, she like pays for that within her, like the split between what I send her for the dogs. So that's why it's so high. Next is my gym membership, $39.99. Gifts, $100. This might be more. I don't know. We'll see. So my fiance's birthday is in September, and it's early September, so I would prefer to buy everything in August, but potentially some of that could get pushed to September. I could pull from my gift sinking fund, so I may do that. I didn't account for it up here, but I probably will, just depending. Like if I spend $100 or $200 on him, I'll probably just pull from my sinking fund because that's what it's there for. You know, for whatever reason, I just like to let that grow and not pull from it. I try to cash flow gifts. But you can see we're already at a negative number, so it's probably going to make sense to replenish that spending with savings. Next is personal spending. I'm just budgeting $25. I'm honestly going to try to keep this at $0 though. I just put it on there in case there was like something small that I wanted to purchase. And then one final thing that I just left it blank. I didn't budget for it. I put wedding on here because as of right now, the main things, like the larger expenses with our wedding party, that's all taken care of. I do still want to book a videographer though, and I've reached out to one that I really want to work with, but they haven't gotten back to me. And I don't get that. Like, do you not want business? I don't know. So gonna have to move on to somebody else. And typically when you are booking these vendors, you have to put a deposit down, so it may be like $300 to $400. As y'all saw above though, I am saving for the wedding, so I'm putting $385 into saving, but I may end up having to put down like a $300, $400 deposit. So I would pull from that if necessary, because yeah, again, this is negative. Altogether, negative $541. Now, I did this last month as well, and it's not something I typically recommend doing. There's sometimes when I work with clients that this happens, and we like are aware that we're doing it and we're doing it for a specific reason, whatever, so I let it slide. But usually I always try to get this to a positive. For me to cut back on any of these things, it would be pretty unrealistic. Like, sure, I could cut the Roth IRA, I could stop the savings, and like if I took out the savings, that's $700 right there. Like, that puts me in the positive. So I could absolutely stop those savings or like transfer them back if I needed to. I just don't want to. And honestly, I am 100% confident that I'm gonna have enough money to cover this 540 negative from extra income, which I didn't account for, if I need to pull from my sinking fund. So let's say if I put in that 100, that gets me to negative 440. I'll probably make at least 200 in extra income. So that gets me to negative 240. And if I land any sponsorships that may increase my income, or like I said, if I were to get more client calls, the other thing is I have over $1,500 of cash back points, of credit card cash back points that I can redeem. I've just been hesitant on doing that because they're all with Chase. I recently opened a Chase Business Inc. card, and that got me a $750 bonus. And then from referrals a couple of months ago with Chase Sapphire Preferred, I have $800 from that. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to anybody who used my link for that. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. But yeah, I have been hesitant on cashing that money out just because the money goes so much further if you book travel through Chase or if you transfer it to their travel partners. And we have travel coming up later in 2026 and potentially before that. But I don't know. Like, I'm tempted to just cash it out so then I can get my, put more to my Roth IRA, or if I don't make that much money in August and I end up needing the money. So I'm just going to let it sit there for, another month or so, see what happens, and then decide. So just making decisions slowly as far as that goes. But that is why I'm okay with having the negative left over there, because I have $1,500 that's just sitting there. Technically that goes on the business side of things, but it doesn't matter. Like, business money is my money because it's just me, so I can transfer that to my personal checking account if I wanted to. It doesn't matter. So no matter what, it's all good. But in general, I don't recommend getting the difference between your expenses and your income to a negative. So I hate to say this, but for my August budget and even my July budget, do as I say, not as I do. But that's what I'm expecting for August. Let me know if y'all have any questions, or feel free to share the goals that you're setting for the month, your highest spend category, what you're trying to work on, anything you want to share. I would love to hear it. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next one.